Osh gosh bagosh, it's a brand new paperboy.
Mr. President, are you worried about an auto strike? An auto strike? UAW? A strike!
No, I'm not worried about a strike. It's not happening.
It's not happening. I'm not worried about a strike because it's not going to happen.
Breaking news overnight. Members of the United Auto Workers Union have gone on strike in the United States. They've shut down this morning 3 major plants, one from each of the Detroit Threes, it's known, as that strike deadline passed at midnight Eastern. This is the very first time the union has taken job action against the big 3 Detroit automakers at the very same time.
It's bath day for me, but I can't wash myself. Know anybody with a pair of strong young hands to help me in and out of the tub?
I just want to deal in fact, because there is so much speculation out there, and there is zero evidence that Hunter Biden or Joe Biden did anything wrong here.
We should note, again, and you and I have said this in the air many times, there is no evidence that Joe Biden was, involved in any wrongdoing.
Of course, I want to note that there is no evidence that Joe Biden or Hunter Biden has done anything wrong.
I just want to reiterate.
And let's be clear for the viewers.
There is no evidence Biden did anything wrong.
I'll note again, because it's important.
There is no, I repeat, no.
There is no evidence that either Biden did anything illegal.
There's been no evidence. There was no evidence.
There's no evidence. There is no evidence.
There is not an iota of evidence.
No evidence Biden did anything wrong.
And he's a grown man. And it turns out he did not do a single thing wrong, as everybody's investigated.
The federal government has just filed an indictment against Hunter Biden on that gun charge.
Despite months of investigation, the Republicans have yet to find any evidence implicating then Vice President Biden in his son's affairs.
You know how hard it is? I mean, to just get lied to this much, to just be consistently always lied to. It's so hard to watch. This is why you don't watch CNN. You have to be really stupid to watch CNN.
The one who's got the problem is Biden. Because you look at what Biden did. Biden did what they would like to have me do, except for one problem. I didn't do it.
Joe Biden was paid $5 million by Ukrainian natural gas company Burisma Holdings while he was the vice president.
The Democrats have completely lost their minds. Trump derangement syndrome is real.
That's why today I am directing our House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden.
There is not a shred of evidence that President Joe Biden has engaged in wrongdoing.
They've come up with incriminating evidence implicating Joe Biden as directly complicit in his son's influence peddling schemes with foreign adversaries.
There is not a shred of evidence that President Joe Biden has committed an impeachable offense.
The elder Biden was meeting personally with Hunter's overseas clients, had dinner with them, spoke by telephone with them on roughly 20 occasions, probably more. And recently we found out he was coordinating with his son's partners into trying to cover up the Burisma scandal. And all the while, the president lied by insisting that he knew nothing at all about the nefarious deals and never played a role in them. That farce, of course, was destroyed by Hunter's partner, Devon Archer.
There is not a shred of evidence that President Joe Biden has committed a crime.
These bank records show $20 million funneled into a web of shell companies for the Bidens that had no other purpose than to conceal the source of the cash. What's that? Well, that's money laundering, and then banks flagged 150 suspicious activity reports.
This is an illegitimate impeachment inquiry, period, Full stop.
And Kevin McCarthy has had to backtrack because he didn't have the votes. So he didn't go for a floor vote for the inquiry. He simply followed the precedent set by Nancy Pelosi by unilaterally ordering it. Of course, in the second failed impeachment, she didn't even bother with any of that. She didn't even hold any public hearings or an inquiry, just went immediately to a vote to impeach.
The extreme MAGA Republicans are determined to illegitimately investigate the president as part of an ideological crusade.
Involving the Biden, riches pouring in from Russia, China, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Romania, all these countries over which Vice President Joe Biden was exercising influence during the Obama administration.
President Joe Biden is a good man. He's an honest man. He's a patriotic man.
There is compelling evidence that Biden used his influence for enrichment to the family.
House Democrats will defend President Biden today. We will defend President Biden tomorrow. We will defend President Biden next week. We will defend President Biden next month.
They know that David Weiss, the U.S. Attorney in Delaware, now special counsel appointed by Merrick Garland, they know he's a member of their defense team. He has been acting in concert to protect Hunter Biden. That's exactly why Garland appointed him. This is more of a cover-up, and the fix is in, not just to protect Hunter Biden, but to protect Joe Biden, who, as I said earlier, is complicit in his son's influence peddling schemes. That's what the evidence has shown so far.
We will defend President Biden next year. We will defend President Biden until the very end.
Frankly, you know, if Democrats are sincere in their claims that, you know, Joe Biden's innocent, they should welcome this sort of an investigation. But the trouble is, they don't believe it. They've seen with their own eyes the compelling evidence of wrongdoing. So now they're going to simply obstruct and resist and do everything they can to shut this down. Joe Biden will do the same thing. If Kevin McCarthy thinks that an inquiry committee is the apex of authority to obtaining enforcement of subpoenas, I think he's wrong.
Something personal that's affecting you. Your son, while there's no ties to you, could be charged by your Department of Justice. How will that impact your presidency?
First of all, my son's done nothing wrong. I trust him. I have faith in him. And it impacts my presidency by making me feel proud of him.
Hunter Biden, Robert Hunter Biden, indicted by the U.S. Attorney, or in this case, Special Counsel David Weiss, based in Wilmington, Delaware. As you mentioned, we knew this was somewhat going to come because his office said it would happen before September 29th.
First of all, my son's done nothing wrong. I trust him.
We have 3 counts in this indictment. This is related to the purchase of that gun.
I have faith in him, and it impacts my presidency by making me feel proud of him.
Hunter Biden made a false statement. This indictment alleges made several false statements about the gun charge or about purchasing a federal firearm. He said that he was not addicted to drugs.
Making me feel proud of him.
Maximum penalty would be 10 years of imprisonment for count 1, which is a false statement.